Hey everybody. Since the beginning of time, people would eat food to sustain or even to survive. Today, in most countries, but not all of course, there is such an abundance of food. So these countries with plenty, they don't eat to sustain, but now they eat more for comfort and entertainment. And because of this, our health is declining. For an example, when a hiker or camper plans a trip, they'll purchase food that tastes really good, and in most cases, very good. And I'm guilty of that. But the problem is that they're looking at the front of the package, looking for that new tasty flavor. But if you want more energy when you're active, especially for a long period of time, and also to be able to recover more quickly because of that activity, to have more fuel to keep you nice and toasty warm throughout those long, cold winter nights. Then we need to turn the food packages around to see what's on the back. In this episode, we're going to look at those things that are on the back of those food packages that will help you be more successful on your next trip. Before we get into how all this works, bear with me for a few minutes as I go through some important things that'll help all this make sense. So here we go. Calories are the amount of energy or a way of measuring energy released when your body absorbs, digests, or breaks down food. Calories in 1 gram of carbohydrates, also known as carbs, will provide 4 calories per gram. Now, also protein will provide 4 calories per gram, but fat provides 9 calories per gram. Carbs are found in fruits, vegetables, pasta, rice, and grains are most common. Protein is found in meats, poultry, dairy products, eggs, and beans. Fats are found in animal fats, butter, milk, peanut butter, cheese, nuts, avocados, and fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, and trout. Carbohydrates is your body's primary source of energy during activity. If you don't burn them up in 4 hours, they will be stored as body fat. Now there's 2 types of carbs. There's simple carbs, which is found in refined grain products. There's candy, cakes, and mostly things made with sugar, which breaks down fast and gives you a quick burst of energy. And the second is complex carb, and that digests more slowly. Even though complex carbs burn slowly, right around 4 hours, protein burns even more slowly, right around 6 hours. With any protein we eat beyond what we need for rebuilding is burned for fuel. And if it isn't burned up, because our body cannot store protein, it is converted to body fat just like carbs. But fat burns the slowest, right around 8 hours. When eating carbs, protein, and fat, the carbs are burned first, then the protein, and then last, fat. So what does this all mean? What we're going to do is take this info and put it in different scenarios or different situations that you may face. Now everyone's metabolism is different, so we're just going to use these figures as an average. Because carbs burn up in 4 hours and gives you a quick burst of energy, they would be best used for when you're very active. Now for this discussion, we're going to use hiking for the activity. In the morning for breakfast before you start hiking, your main source of food should be carbs. I like to throw a little protein in there to help repair those muscles. What you got there?
Breakfast skillet, freeze-dried, 13 grams protein.
But your main source of energy would come from the carbs. One of my favorite types of carb to eat in the morning, which I believe is the best when hiking, is oatmeal. Now after 4 hours of hiking, or I feel my energy is being depleted, I will then eat a snack or eat lunch. Again, I'm looking for carbs for my main source of energy to continue my hike. When I get to camp, and after I have everything set up and most of my camp chores done, now it's time for dinner. For
dinner, I'm having chicken chili.
One of the biggest mistakes people make when they get to camp is to continue to eat foods that are full of carbs. This is a time to switch to foods that have 20 grams or more of protein to help repair those sore muscles. Perfect. So you will be ready to go the next morning for another long day of hiking. Protein is not a good source of energy as carbs, but protein burns 6 hours. Now because of the downtime at camp, now you don't need the energy that carbs provide. Now here's a great tip for winter camping or cold temperatures during the night that most people are not aware of. Because fat is slow burning, it will keep you warm for 8 hours during the night when you go to bed, almost the whole night. Now if you're a cold sleeper, you should consider eating fat before you go to bed. This is one of my secret weapons for sleeping in extreme cold temperatures in my hammock. Now eating fat gets a bad rap. I believe most what is said is untrue. Look at the Inuits, also called as Eskimos. They eat fat and blubber all the time, and they're one of the most healthiest people. Explain that to me, and I know some of you will. Now when planning that next trip and you go to buy food, do yourself a favor and turn that package around. Well, this ends this episode. I hope you found it to be helpful and insightful. And if you have any questions or comments, please write them down below. I'd love to hear from you. This is the Marine. Thank you for watching, and God bless.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes